be sparking and busting mad like inside the dark. Call me Bill Snatcher, just a brother for the rapture. I hang live, holding on strong, hard to capture. Extravagant, resurrect the track and it's militant. And I react like a convict and start killing. It's manifesting. The gods work like appliances, dealing in my psyche.
Yo, what's going on everybody? It's your boy Naruto Explain here, bringing you guys another discussion for Boruto Naruto Next Generations, the manga. And for anime only fans, this is a time of month where a lot of the content that you guys see on the channel is going to be spoiler heavy, so I thank you for your support. However, if you're still here, I'm assuming that you guys are all caught up with the manga and you don't care about spoilers or potential theories or anything of that notion. So with that being said, if you're still here, let's go ahead and dive right into the discussion. So at the end of the last chapter, one question I saw quite a few people bring up is the fact that Sasuke was nowhere to be seen during this point. We have a 5 Kage summit going on, and a few of you guys correctly noticed that only one of Naruto's 3 advisors are actually there. So for those of you guys who need a reminder of who the actual advisors are, it's Shikamaru and it's Sakura. When we look at the manga format, those are the other 2 people who weigh in on village level threats or threats above the village level that pertain to the Otsutsuki clan. Again, manga format, and that's because they are the 8th Hokage candidates. Sasuke obviously weighs in on situations like this, but that's kind of the point of today's video of where is Sasuke. A few people have asked where's Sasuke at, and apparently Sasuke and Amato had a conversation off screen because Amato tells Naruto like, hey, I've talked to Sasuke. Sasuke said like, yo, I got no problem if I gotta kill Boruto, I'll go ahead and do it. I know that's my pupil, I know that's Naruto's son, but if he needs to die to protect the world, I'll be the first one to kill him. So the fact is that Sasuke has this conversation off screen, and you have to kind of wonder from a writing perspective, why exactly, number one, would you do that off screen, which is an easier answer, and then number two, during such a critical moment in the actual series where there's a 5 Kage summit and Sasuke is viewed by a lot of people as being Naruto's equal when it comes to standing in Konoha, at least when it comes to the other Kages. The fact is that Sasuke not being there is a huge red flag. So some people have said maybe he's just in recovery and Sakura's treating him, but the thing I'll say is that Sasuke just had his eye destroyed. Now you might say, why is that such a big idea? Well, why is that not such a big deal? Well, you gotta remember, when it comes to Naruto characters, these guys, they swap out eyes and limbs left and right. So I wouldn't necessarily say that he would have to be in the hospital for that long. Like the fact that Rin could do a in the middle of the battle, transport Kakashi's eyeball and swap it out and give him Obito's eyeball right there on the battlefield, and Kakashi's able to function as normal. I don't think that it's such a big deal that Sasuke's Rinnegan is destroyed and somebody has to do some medical ninjutsu to heal it up. I don't think that's so much of a big deal. So my thing is we know that there are actual missions that are taking place right now to actually hunt down Code and hunt down the location of one of those Kara bases, and I strongly believe that we're gonna see something like how you saw it in the anime, where it was Sasuke and Sai working together to try and uncover more information about the Kara organization. I strongly believe that right now Sai and Sasuke are looking for some of those bases. I think that they're the ones who are leading those teams, because it always seemed a little funny to me that we get this revelation and it's like, wait, they just sent a bunch of random Jonin fodder to go look for the Kara organization's bases. That makes absolutely no sense, and the other Kage weren't even aware of it until it was told to them. So that lets you know this isn't something that the Shinobi Union is working on together. This is something Konoha is doing by themselves. And so it would make sense if you send Sasuke there. And given the fact that even without the Rinnegan, Sasuke is still one of the most powerful shinobi that is alive on the planet, it would make sense if you have him as a tool to actually send him out there. Now the problem is that Sasuke at this point cannot defeat Code, so maybe that's why Naruto sends backup, so potentially they can just get out of there, or maybe this is just a simple espionage mission and they know not to actually engage. there are different ways you can actually kind of go about this, but I do think that Sasuke, his current mission, is something of this effect. And if that does indeed end up being the case, I, for one, I'm completely okay with it, because it's one of those things to where when you really look at it, it opens up the door of possibility for Sasuke to reclaim his value as being an asset to Konoha, because Sasuke, a lot of the times when he was going on those missions in service of Konoha, Sasuke was doing that stuff going through the Otsutsuki dimensions. He can't actually do something like that, but you also have to wonder if recovering some of that technology, given all the information that Amato has, maybe if recovering some of that technology means that they're able to go into some of those Otsutsuki dimensions actually using the tech that Amato created. That could be something that is actually used at this point. But for Sasuke, I think that his first mission that he goes on after having his Rinnegan destroyed, something that's been a part of his identity for almost 2 decades now. It's been 16 years since he got that Rinnegan. I think that this is just as important for him as an individual as it is for him as an actual ninja. Now, the main concern I have at this point is, with Sasuke being this nerfed down, is it possible that the other mission that he has is actually looking for the other hideouts that Boro had, where Boro could have stashed some of those other cyborgs that are stated to be stronger than Jigen? Because if they're like Delta and they're in those tanks and they're conscious of what's going on but they can't actually do anything, it gives Sasuke the opportunity to use Amaterasu, which, despite what some people say, Sasuke can still use Amaterasu. I think people forget that after the Rinnegan was destroyed, he used Amaterasu on Boruto Shiki, so Sasuke still has that. What's to stop Sasuke from burning the entire hideout and burning everything down? So I think that while Code and Ada are in the one area, it is possible that Sasuke is looking for the other hideouts. But the problem is that eventually Ada is going to find out that, like, yo, Sasuke is at these other hideouts, because she can see all things at all times. So I think that if that is the route that Masashi Kishimoto is taking it, it opens up the door for Ada or Code to actually conflict with Sasuke. And so it's going to be very interesting, but I do think that Sasuke not being in the actual chapter and him having a conversation with Amato in passing, it kind of opens up the door that there's something else going on with the characters. So it was the same thing right before we got the Ten Tails revelation. You know, your question was like, wait a second, like, where is Sasuke when Delta is attacking? We knew in the Mujina Bandits arc that he was going to be going to look for information on Kara, but that was a long time after the fact. And so some people asked that question, and sure enough, after the Naruto versus Delta stuff got wrapped up, it's like, oh, Sasuke discovered an entire Ten Tails. So that could be something of worth right there. However, I want to know from you guys, how do you guys feel about this? Let me know down in the comment section below. But as always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching until the end. Have an awesome day, guys.